Hi Aries, welcome to your end of January 2019 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. So this is the Druid Craft deck, in case you're interested. And the heart of the matter is the Eight of Cups. And so in this particular deck, it's very similar to Rider-Waite, which is one of the reasons why I bought it. And yet, I notice here that they're actually showing somebody starting to climb up a mountain or whatever this is, a hill. And to me, I think that this is even better than the original, because what I think this card represents is a spiritual quest. And usually with spiritual quests, we see that the person is ascending in some way, and they depict, people climbing or flying or something like that. But the thing about this card is that because it's cups, it's connected to your emotions. So your heart might not be in something anymore, so you're kind of turning your back on it, and you're walking away from something. But the truth is that it's not just about walking away from something. I think this is showing that you're walking towards something. And to me, that's the important thing. It's not just about somebody walking away. Because if you don't have a direction you're going in, then that is just reactionary, when you think about it. But, I mean, of course, sometimes if a situation is very dangerous, you have to just leave, and you don't even have time to formulate, what your next plans are. You're just like out of there. But I'm talking about a situation where you're feeling like not inspired anymore, or you're not feeling like you're connecting emotionally with someone or something. And when that happens, sometimes you have to kind of just walk away from that situation. And it doesn't mean that you hate somebody or you hate, where you work or anything like that. It could be that it's not fulfilling anymore. It's not spirit. Maybe it's like it's having a you're having a conflict between what you're doing and where you're going. You are kind of like you've outgrown it, maybe spiritually, a relationship or a job, and maybe you're starting to think more about these things, and there's kind of like this philosophical element to it, where you're realizing that what you went into that situation with is not what you feel now. So you might be somebody who got married and you were very just content to raise a family, and then you realized that you had no real connection to that person, and you realized it's not enough to go on, that you need something more. Sorry that this is rush hour and there's trains and stuff like that. So nobody has to be the villain, but this may just be like part of your growth. And this could be, to me, I always connect this card to Scorpio of all the water signs, maybe because Scorpio is the 8th house, but it's definitely emotional energy. So if it does connect to a particular astrological sign, it would be Pisces or Scorpio or Cancer. And actually, for you, Aries, Cancer as another cardinal sign may be the one that is most, attractive to you in a sense. I'm not talking about physically, but just that sense of, feeling a pull towards that person. So, but this could be a job situation too. So let's look at the past position here to gain more insight. We have the Magician card. And so that suggests to me that it's not just a question of compatibility, but something within yourself. This is a card of resourcefulness, of self-empowerment, of independence, and, leaning on yourself. Perhaps you were with somebody and they provided, especially with the cups, maybe there was an emotional connection with them at one time. Maybe you met them at a vulnerable time in your life and you really did feel like you had something with this person. And now maybe it feels like you are more, maybe you feel more strong within yourself. You're less in need of somebody else to bolster you up. And that's not typical of Aries, but some Aries people may have inner planets in Pisces or moon in any sign, including water energy like Cancer or Pisces. And even Libra can be codependent. So it's not a question of always that an Aries person is going to be one specific way. No, not at all. And the other thing too is I'm thinking astrologically, the lunar eclipse is going to be at 0 degrees of Leo on the 20th of January or the 21st, depending on where you live. And this is going to hit your 5th house of love. So this could be like, almost if it is an ending, this could be like a very dramatic ending. Like it's just like, that's it. Maybe you tolerated a lot of nonsense and you found something out and then you're out of there. But with the Magician in the past position, it sounds like you have already been gaining a lot of sense of yourself and your own ability to do things, and you no longer feel that strong need to, be attached to somebody that you're not on the same page with. And same with a job, And this could either be like where you work or even a type of career that you're doing. Maybe it just doesn't generate any passion within you, Aries. And you're a fire sign. And you really thrive under the conditions of having excitement. I mean, some people, they're perfectly happy to, do a 9-to-5 job and have that kind of stability. But Aries people always need a little bit more stimulation than that. And you are very independent, so that is going to also be a draw. Now, the higher message is represented by the Justice card. Normally, I would talk about the legal system and, some kind of a legal verdict or a divorce or something like that. But this is the spiritual position, so it's more like having you look at the bigger picture and maybe even like a lesson that you can learn from this situation in your future. So I think in this particular context is that, for instance, if this is a workplace situation, perhaps there was some kind of feeling on your part that you were not given the same treatment as other people. And I'm talking about a lesser treatment, that you were given, that you were treated unfairly. And what the Justice card would be suggesting in that context is that I would say that you need to keep tabs on all relationships you have, whether it's professional or private, to make sure that there is give and take. Aries is a very generous sign. Sometimes that can lead to being taken advantage of. Yes, even an Aries individual. And sometimes especially one, because I think most Aries people are open books. They're very upfront. Now, it can be true that they're upfront and almost too blunt or too aggressive in their approach, but they still are very refreshingly honest. And people who are like this, I think it's very easy for them to get duped because they assume other people are just like them, and they don't realize that some people are very conniving and they have an ulterior motive. They have like this whole thing that they're trying to do, and this may be very disappointing to you if you experienced anything like that. And again, with the Justice card, there may have been unfair treatment of one form or another. I've just recently done a reading for you. I never remember, or usually don't remember, specifics of each sign that I've done, even though I just did one for you. And I thought there was a similar theme, but I can't recall. Also, the Justice card connects to Libra, so that could be, that is your opposite sign. By the way, just to let you know, with timing issues, if that's what the Justice card is representing, speaking of Libra, in March and April, we're going to have a very unusual thing happen where there's going to be 2 full moons in Libra. One is going to be at 0 degrees and one is going to be at 29 degrees. So both ends, the, polar opposites, well, the same sign though, but one, it's the first degree, which is 0 degrees, and then the last degree at 29 degrees. So that's your 7th house of committed partnership. And that might, back-to-back full moons in that house could point to very pronounced endings. And maybe that's what the Justice card in this position is representing, is the astrological transit that's going to occur, or transits that are going to occur. What crosses you is the 7 of Pentacles, and let me see how they show this one. It's very interesting. The 7 of Pentacles is a card of patience in order for the harvest to come in a particular area of life. Now, that might suggest, if this is a job situation, that perhaps you weren't there that long, and that you were impatient, that you didn't get ahead right away, and that disgusted you. Certainly that can be true of Aries, that they get very tired very soon. That, and I think it's not just a case of just garden variety impatience. I think that, first of all, you're a cardinal sign, so you like to start new things. But once something gets predictable, once you have gotten the job, you've landed the job, and you have to show up, and it's 9 to 5, and you've done that, been there and done that for a few weeks, you might just start to get tired of the, the schedule, the the grind. That was the word I was looking for. And so that might simply be that you have to, maybe in this particular case it was the right thing to do, but in other cases, maybe sometimes you throw in the towel too early because you just get bored, and that you have to cultivate a sense of patience maybe in certain situations. There could be like somebody who is an earth sign who is not good for you, but maybe you have a strong physical attraction to that person. So we're talking about Taurus and Virgo and Capricorn, especially Capricorn. Yeah, I do think it might be Capricorn, not only because it's a cardinal sign like you, but here it is. This is Cernunnos. And this is the Devil card in this particular deck. This is how they characterize it. And the first time I heard about Cernunnos was when I would use my Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. And I think I'm going to be using that when I do I'm going to do like a Oracle card reading for the lunar eclipse in Leo in the next couple of days. And I'm going to use that deck because Cernunnos is part of it. And that was the first time I ever heard of him, I guess. And I guess that's a particular version of the Devil card. And this does connect to Capricorn, and it looks like it has an earthy theme with the antlers. So I don't know if he's half man and half reindeer or stag. But anyway, this card deals with lust and maybe overemphasis on the physical in a relationship. And again, you know, that's what I was kind of getting the feeling for, and definitely with Aries, maybe that's what the Seven of Pentacles in the challenge position, excuse me, that you have to have patience and not jump into maybe the physical relationship for, when you first meet somebody, because that can lead to having a relationship with somebody who is incompatible overall, and maybe that works against you. So maybe you're going to realize that has been kind of a theme in your life, and that has worked against you. Also, with money, being too concerned about making the money versus having the you know, the job that is fulfilling. And that's kind of what the Eight of Cups is like getting fulfilled emotionally with the work that you do, if that connects to it. And of course, when you focus too much on the material gain, then that can kind of like ignore the fact that being fulfilled spiritually is sometimes much more valuable. And the outcome is a great card, the Ace of Cups, because this is new beginnings in love, you know, maybe even just the seeds of it. I would say too, if it's a timing card, maybe there's a turning point at the new moon in Pisces, because that's the beginning of something, you know, in water energy. And that will be on March 6th. And the interesting thing about that date is that's the same day that Uranus goes into Taurus. And I believe that'll be the last that it is in Aries for many years, because it's been in your sign for 7 years, and you may have experienced all kinds of ups and downs, or at least surprising events that have occurred. And it may be that now you can settle down a little bit more, and and now it's going to be in your second house of earned income, so that should be kind of a fun roller coaster ride. Yeah, so that can be very interesting to see what transpires, because this is kind of what you're looking for. Now, this doesn't have to be just with a particular relationship. This could be like you discovering a new purpose that is soul driven, or soul, they call it, even if you do it for yourself, soulpreneur or something like that. In other words, a business that you start that's based on some kind of spiritual pursuits, or perhaps some kind of I gotta love those trains. You know, just some kind of new occupation that is just more fulfilling emotionally, and that and also that you feel is maybe that you want to make a difference in some way, and it's like you feel that what you've been doing doesn't really matter. I'm sure it does, but you know what I mean. That you're just going through the motions and you really want to feel it. So anyway, that's what I have for you, and of course a possible new relationship too, which is nice. That's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a personal reading, the link to my site is below, and Otherwise, I wish you a great end of January. Take care. Bye.